YouTube friends, it's Adiva and this is my first tutorial on my channel. Yay! I'm so excited about it. I have all my stuff laid out on this desk for me to use quickly. I'm not sure, but I think that my camera only films in 29-minute increments. So after that, I'm pretty sure it's going to stop recording, so I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. And let's get started. Okay, my face is already washed, cleaned, moisturized, all that stuff. I'm going to start with my Mary Kay Foundation Primer Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15. And this is a silicone-based primer. I've tried the e.l.f. primer too, but I think that the e.l.f. primer feels more greasy than the Mary Kay one. I might have put too much primer on my fingers. Oh well. I like the Mary Kay one so far better than the e.l.f., but as far as I can remember, those are the only face primers I've ever tried. So I don't really have much to compare to. It's okay. This works. Hopefully you can see me. James and I had tried to brainstorm together a few nights ago and figure out where we could put the camera where you could see my face, there was good lighting, and somebody would be able to get behind the camera at some point and see if it's still recording or to see if I'm in view. If we put it in one of these corners here, then nobody would be able to fit behind the camera in the corner to see if I'm in view. So anyway, the point is we found a spot, so moving on. And so far I haven't even been using a mirror, but I don't really feel like I need a mirror for a primer. Maybe not even the foundation, really. I've been thinking about doing the no mirror makeup challenge. The only problem I have with the no mirror makeup challenge is that the eyes probably would be the hardest. Since my cheeks are the ones, the part of my face that has the most discoloration and acne pores and stuff like that, I tend to put more foundation on my cheeks and right under my chin because I have acne under my chin right here too. Than I do on my forehead. And because the foundation matches my skin for the most part, I mean it does, but you can always tell when you have foundation on. If you put a stripe of foundation and don't blend it in, you can tell that there's foundation. So I always take the leftovers from my brush and put it on my forehead. Because I mentioned before, actually I can't remember if the video that I filmed it in, if it was one that was recorded without any sound, or if I haven't uploaded it yet, but in one of my videos I mentioned that I don't like the feel of foundation. Most of the time it looks cakey, I can't find my right shade, and I'd rather just blur the flaws, blur my imperfections, than have full coverage and it look cakey on my skin and me feel like my skin is tacky all day long, that it feels like my skin can't breathe. I'd rather just do a light layer. And what I'm using now is the Mary Kay CC Cream Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15. And I try not to put any foundation right in here. I know that might sound weird, but because I wear glasses, the foundation, even when I set it, it always breaks up right here because this is where my glasses rub. And when it starts to break up and get oily, then it gets on the bridge of my glasses and makes my glasses slide down. And then when they slide down, that's the part that you can see the foundation breaking up, and it just looks awful. Here I'm using the e.l.f. booster, the Mineral Booster Sheer. I think that this kind of gives my skin a little bit of a pinkish tint. See, the product looks a little bit pink tinted as well. So what I do is I just have product in my lid here, and then I take my big e.l.f. fluffy brush. This is the e.l.f. Professional Total Face Brush. Oh, and this brush that I'm using is a really, really old brush. Maximum Coverage Foundation from Raw Color. And it's supposed to be for powder foundation, but I found that it works awesome for liquid foundation. So I just tap my big fluffy brush in here, and I start setting the foundation all over my face. And that way it's prepping my skin so that I can put on some bronzer and highlighter and blush, and so that the powder products that are going on after the foundation are not going to stick to my skin. I tried to concentrate more of the powder, the face powder right here in this area on my cheeks and right in here on my forehead. I mean, I evenly apply it throughout my face, but then where I put extra are those areas, because that's where I go in with the bronzer. And I've noticed that if I don't do this, put a little extra powder in those spots, the bronzer still tends to stick and it becomes difficult to blend. I just started working with bronzer, I think in the summer of 2015. Maybe July or August I started using bronzer for the first time. And I'd watched lots of YouTube videos. I just never bought bronzer or played into it. But I always liked the look of the bronzer and the packaging. So I decided, well, I had been buying bronzer too for a few months, but I decided that it was time that I open up one of my bronzers and finally start experimenting and trying it on my face. And I have experimented using different brushes, different ways to apply it, and I mean, I'm still working with it, still learning, but I found that the way that I like it the best so far is using my Mary Kay Mineral Foundation brush, and I just go like this, just a little bit. I know you might see that a lot of YouTubers will swirl their brush in and then tap off the excess. But here's my thing, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves when I see people do that, swirling and tapping off the excess. Why do you want to put so much on your brush that you have to tap off excess? You don't even need, if you're not going to need that much on your brush, then don't put that much on your brush. And then you won't have a need to tap off the excess. And my thought is that when you're tapping off the excess, that's a waste of product. I don't want my product in the air. I don't want my product on my table or my desk. I want my product on my face. Especially if it's an expensive product, which I haven't started using my expensive products yet. But you know, I've told you that in my other videos that I try to use what is open first before I open something new, just so that I can give everything an equal amount of love. But I've been reconsidering that as well, especially for the powder products, because the powder products won't go bad even if I open them up. It's just that if you're only focusing on using one, then you'll use up that one faster and you'll be able to move on to the next one. You'll be able to get it out of your collection and make room for another product. So I'm just putting this under my chin. I've noticed that especially on my right side, this right side of my cheek sags a little bit more than the left side, and that just started happening within the last year. So I'm working on that. I started doing some anti-aging skincare that hopefully will take care of that. But I put a little bit more bronzer here to hopefully make this side of my face look a little tighter than I do on this side. I still put it on this side, but I just put extra on the right side of my face. And I mostly don't even go in with product down here. I just mainly use up what's left on my brush. And also, I don't have a very big forehead. So if you see some people, they put their bronzer here and on top of their forehead. And I tried that, even with a smaller brush. But if I do this and go in here and right above my eyebrows, I'm left with a little tiny, very tiny spot that looks a little highlighted, and it just looks weird. I feel like it makes my forehead look smaller than it already is. So I don't put it elsewhere on my forehead, just right here and right here. You know, I think that people have gotten the idea that the fad with contouring, highlighting, and bronzing is that it's supposed to be done in a specific way. No. It's supposed to be done in a way that flatters your face shape. So, I have been trying to do different ways that flatter my face shape. I can show you what I do, but obviously your face shape is going to be different. So you're just going to have to experiment with how to apply your bronzer, highlighter, and contouring shades so that it flatters you and you get the shape of face that you want. Really, I just kind of wanted some on my forehead to make it look a little bronze, to warm up my face a little bit. Here I'm using the Real Techniques Gold Brush 301, and this package for the brush said that it was supposed to be for contouring, and it's a very, very dense brush. And I tried it with contouring, but I felt like that this brush picked up more product of the bronzer on the brush than it actually applied to my face. So I use this for highlighter. I just barely tap in here, and then I apply right there. And I keep doing that until I have the desired amount of highlighter on my face. And what I've been doing is I apply my highlighter first, or bronzer first, then highlighter, then my blush. And that way the blush will kind of blend out the highlighter, and it won't look like I have just a streak, but it'll look like I have some glow there. But if I ever want some extra highlighter, then I go in with the highlighter again after my blush. This is an awkward angle. I wish this wasn't such a long tip brush, because this is awkward holding it with the mirror. I'm blind without my glasses, so I have to hold the mirror really close to see anything, especially when I do my eye makeup. So I think I might have a little bit of a challenge doing tutorials with the eye makeup for you, but we'll see what I can do. I'm pretty sure as time goes on, I'm going to get better at doing, not only applying makeup on myself, but also showing you and filming it. And then I just apply whatever's left over on my brush here. And I experimented with this the other night, and I just used whatever's left over on my brush here and here. Sometimes a little bit there. I've noticed that if I apply the highlighter right here, even though that's what a lot of people will do sometimes, put highlighter here and bronzer here. But when I put highlighter right here, it just makes my forehead look oily. So I do not put highlighter there. Just here on the chin and just a little bit. And then, let's see, oh, blush. I've been trying to start getting myself in the habit of doing my eye makeup first and then foundation. That way I don't mess up my foundation. But old habits die hard, and I've always done my foundation first and then my eye makeup, and it's been a challenge for me to get myself out of that old habit. And it probably would also have to depend on, I'm looking for my blush. I'll use this one this day. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Professional Powder Brush, and I'm going to use it for my blush. And this is one of the bags of blush that I told you about in my Empties products, to use up 16 products per month, per year, and 16 for the entire year challenge tag. So I just barely dip, you know, I need my glasses now. I should have put them on a few minutes ago. I just get in there on the sides until I start having some on the blush applicator. I don't just go directly into the bag and dip in, because then I'll get too much on my brush. And there's a lot of residue on the edges. So I just get whatever residue is on the edge. And currently this is the makeup look that I've been doing on whenever I do my makeup. It's been almost always the same, sometimes with a few variations. Sometimes I'll use the e.l.f. Primer, sometimes the e.l.f. foundation or stick foundation, but mostly I've been using the Mary Kay primer because it has SPF in it and it's actually expired and I need to use it up, and the Mary Kay CC cream, and then the Wet n Wild bronzer in, oh, I didn't tell you the shades. So Wet n Wild bronzer in Ticket to Brazil, and then the Wet n Wild bronzer that's technically, it should be for a highlighter because I'm pale and this shows up as a highlighter on me. And this is the Reserve Your Cabana. So everything mainly is the same, even the blush. The only thing that really changes up is the eyeshadow makeup, but I've been using the same mascara, same eyebrow product, same eyeliner most of the time. And the lipstick will change sometimes, but I usually try to stick with whatever lipstick needs to get used up first. Not really first, but one of them that I have set aside to use up. I take my blush and I start right about here. So it's about 2 fingers from my nose on my cheek, and I pull mine back. I've never done mine just on the apples of my cheek right there because I think it looks weird on me. I've just always done my blush like this, and I feel like it pulls my face back and makes it look a little bit skinnier. Makes my cheeks look like I have cheekbones, which I do have cheekbones, especially, obviously I have cheekbones, everybody has cheekbones, but more prominent cheekbones, and I usually have more prominent cheekbones when I'm skinnier, when my face is skinnier, but like my dad, when we gain weight, our face gets a little bit more round, and then our cheekbones are hidden. My cheekbones are more like my mom though, but still when I gain weight, it hides my cheekbones. And I'm just taking whatever's left over on my brush and coloring up my face. And now I am going to go ahead with my eyeshadow primer. And my eyeshadow primer is the Mary Kay eye primer. And this tip is actually broken. It comes out here and at the top. I don't know how that happened, but I've been trying to use this primer first before my other eyeshadow primers because I am afraid that the eyeshadow primer, that the primer in here will dry up before I have a chance to use it. I feel like this eyeshadow primer also brightens up the eyes because it's white. I like it. See, it came out right there at the bottom too. And actually, I also put primer underneath here too, on my bottom lash line. And I'm using my ring finger because that is the weakest finger. Any piano players would know that. It's the weakest finger, and it tugs on your delicate eye skin the least out of all your fingers. And you don't want to tug on the skin on your eyes, your eye skin, because your eyelids, there you go. You don't want to tug on your eyelids as much as possible because if I remember correctly, the skin around your eyes is 4 times as delicate and thin as the rest of the skin on your face. And it's also the place that ages first. So you don't want to do anything that adds to that aging process. Which is really hard when I go to scratch my eye, when I have an itch and I want to take my finger and go like this and scratch my eyes. That's not good. I gotta get out of the habit of that. I'm gonna use my Clinique eyeshadow. Family member gave this to me a while back. I'm gonna put it in the crease of my eyes here. Another thing that I need to get in the habit of, and I did not do this just now, is put a base color of eyeshadow down that's a neutral color, like skin color. And I always used to wonder why people would say to do this. They'd say, oh, put a cream color down first. I'm like, well, why put one color down first if you're just going to go and cover it up with another color? But I've learned, especially from Jaclyn Hill, is that if you don't do that, then when you go in with a darker color, it becomes patchy and hard to blend. But having that, just like the foundation, putting a powder, setting your foundation with the powder helps the bronzer to go on. Same thing with the eyeshadows. But I didn't do that, so maybe you and me can learn and get in the habit of doing that together. There. I have to hurry because somebody is here. James' Aunt Vicky is here to help me organize the office. If you can see any of the background in this office a little bit, it's a mess. It's not really like I need help organizing it. I need help figuring out where to place things in the office to make it more functional. And she is going to help me with that. And I thought she was going to be here at 5:30. And I think it's only like 5:15 right now, 5:20. So she's here a few minutes earlier than I thought. Okay. I'm going to put whatever's left over on this brush here down below. I'm going to take this big fluffy brush. I swear this is too big to be used for an eyeshadow brush, but I'm going to use it anyway. Although it is faster, a faster brush to use than some other brushes for the eyeshadow, because it's so big. But it's definitely not one to use for precision at all. I'm going to put whatever's left over on my brush up here. Just add a little bit of a highlight. Normally I would be going into my eyes with some more of this eyeshadow, but I don't want to leave this tutorial unfinished, and I'm trying to hurry because I have company here, so this might be one of the fastest I've done a full face makeup in a long time. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with some eyeliner. This is my Claire's Cosmetics eyeliner. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. I went in with the brown in the crease of my eyes, and I went in with the pink on my eyelid. I'm just going to do a simple eyeliner, also because I don't really know how to do a cat eye yet. I've tried multiple times. Oh, crap, I messed up. Do you see that? The line went up. I'll fix it. Every time I try a cat eyeliner, the angles are different. The sizes are different. It's just always different. It's awkward looking. But I keep practicing at home when I'm not going anywhere. I'd be so excited for the day when I can finally do a cat eye and it look good and even and right. And I'm going to go in with some eyeliner right down here right on my bottom lash line. And I've learned, because my eyelashes are so thick, that I just have to kind of dot my eyeliner on. Otherwise it's just a really thick line down further below than I want it. And I have to dot it in between my eyelash hairs. Because if I do the line below my eyelash line, then it just looks like a wonky. And now I'm just gonna do my mascara and my eyebrows. This is the Professional Super Thick Lash Mascara by CoverGirl, and I've had this for a really long time, and I really should have thrown it away a long time ago because I've been using it for like 1.5 years now, but I don't care. Because I put rubbing alcohol in here too to kill the germs, and I'll let the alcohol evaporate, and then that way I can still keep using it. And okay, so if you notice that I did both of my bottom eyelashes first, it's because my eyelashes are so long naturally that I've learned that if I do the top first and then I do the bottom like this, then the wet mascara from my top, when I bend down, it just gets on my eyelid. And so I have to do the bottom first, because then I'm looking up with no mascara on my top eyelashes. And then I go in with the mascara on the top. And I don't dip back in because I really don't, I mean, sometimes I do, but I don't really need to. I just turn the wand and use whatever mascara is left over. And I also don't have a need to curl my eyelashes because my eyelashes are already naturally curled, thank goodness, because this girl doesn't need falsies. And I feel very blessed about that. My mascara is done now. And now I'm going to go in with some brown mascara. It's actually my old brown waterproof mascara. It became too dry to use on my eyelashes, so I decided to try it on my eyebrows, and it works great to just add just a tiny bit of color and to shape my brows. Since I also have naturally full brows that I actually have to tweeze to simmer down, I really don't need any brow products unless if it's like a clear brow gel. If I'm going to go on a date and we're going to have pictures taken, like a formal event or something, and I need my brows to stay in place. Otherwise, this works just fine because it's waterproof. It has that wax in it. Sorry, there was a hair in my face. It has the wax in it, so this also helps my eyebrows to stay in place. And then all I have left is the lips. And I'm going to use some of this CoverGirl Lip Slicks that I also showed in my empty 16 per month per year challenge tag, and that's how much I have left, if you can see that. Okay. Here. And I'm using this lip brush so that I can, well, it was the Avon Beyond Color Lip Recovery Cream in the shade, I don't know. I don't know what shade it was. Anyway, it was kind of like this brown mauve color, and I used the lip brush on it so that I can dig whatever out of the CoverGirl lip slick. When there was more of the Avon color in here, I would combine these two colors, and it turned out to be a really pretty color. Okay, I have to be done now. This is my finished look, and I'm so sorry I was rushed. I meant to be working on it all day today. And I will get better. I hope y'all have a great day, and come back and see me, friends. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.